Alright. Yeah, well, I guess when we talk about, with respect to why or how to explain the condition that people of color, or whatever they call black people, Negroes, Africans, specifically the ones who are in the what is termed the continent of America, we have to consider what has happened. If you look at some of the work done today on what they call post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, you can kind of see some of the similar attributes in the misnamed people of color. And by that, I just mean that, you know, we have an inappropriate way of responding to what is called the law enforcement, the legal system, and then with respect to just following rules in general, we have an inappropriate approach to it. The same mentality it can be explained on the educational level as well. You know, you teach a slave to read back in the day, and like, yeah, you'd be punished. You might be punished too, but they make sure that slave was punished for learning. So I think that it still trickles down to today, but more or less not even thinking about whether or not I should, you know, read more or consider the education or the importance of education. So a lot of times, you know, yeah, they got all the other distractions to take us away from the video game. I mean, they use the video games and the movies and things like that to take us away from being able to educate ourselves, which is the whole point of entertainment, which is to distract. It just that it still brings us back to the to the important part of why it's done and how it's conducive to our condition, which is basically us forgetting our past, where we're from, what our ancestors did, where our ancestors have been, and seeing ourselves in the rest of the world. If we can, how you say, defeat this post-traumatic stress disorder, and I don't think I need to mention what the stress is, because I think we're all aware of what the original stress that was placed on the individuals who are mislabeled Negro, Black, Colored, Indian, Latino, Aboriginal, Indigenous. There is a big stressor that was and still currently is being placed on us. And that initial stressor that hit in the head, that caused this form of retrograde amnesia, which is basically we have forgotten what it is and where we come from based on what we've been taught about how it was that we come to this place over here in what has been called America.
Can you start from around 1600 and bring forward where do we go wrong? What happened around in that area coming forward?
Even
back late 1500s if you want, and then come forward.
When we look at just the events of, you know, you could say, all right, yes, Columbus coming across and doing his thing, and he explored and took advantage of the quote-unquote Negro population that they found in the Americas. At the same time, it does go back to I think a condition that we have just within our own group. So initially, it boils down to being ignorant. Around the world, around the planet, the biggest problem is that the people who know take advantage of the people who don't know. So because there are so many people on the planet who don't know, aligned with an individual or a group of people on the planet who do know, they are able to go out and take advantage of other groups who may have no idea. This has been the condition of the the so-called Indians or Native American tribes that were over here, who were infiltrated, broken up, disbanded, and this goes back before before the 1800s. We're not even talking about what the United States did in their involvement with certain Native American groups. We are talking about back to when the initial Portuguese and some of the actual Moors came over. Everything led to what it is today, and it's not anything of this is how the plan was going to go, but it's just that how the plan and how the process got here was not the intention of the people who originally grafted the idea of coming over and creating a land where everyone can come and do business and be equally respected in a commercial fashion and under commercial law and commercial venues. The issue is that people are living here, and we don't realize that we were brought in as a commerce and forced into servitude under whatever conditions, sold, whatever, lost the war, however it happened. The fact is that it was a condition, but it was a stepping stone to where we are now. It was not just all that there was. There was a past before that we have been denied, and it's only based on how we're viewing our former capturers or their descendants as they exist today. If we continue to think that, you know, this whole slavery event was you know, the reason why, you know, we're so big and we're so strong and we're so fast, or why you know, we can't have nothing just because we're dark skinned and things like that, then you have to consider you're keeping yourself in that area of thinking where you are one of the people who don't know. This is not about your skin color. Not anymore. And in all honesty, that it's when I say that, it's not anymore in a sense. It's, we know. We have all the keys in front of us to put together who we are, where we're from, where we can stand in this land, on this planet, with respect to the rest of the world, and not be so focused on our immediate, desires that are really, I guess, predicated on some television program or something outside of who you are anyway. This is a response. It's part of being responsible. You as a human, if you're having children or being in existence, you have a duty to go back into yourself and pull out the best of you. Not just what you've been taught, but what you're allowed now to go out and view of the world. No one is telling you you can't go and pick up that certain book. You're telling yourself this based on a condition of having a belief that this book might be so dangerous, or this book is so negative to what it is you've been taught. It's time that we have to step outside of the box of being those Negro slaves that the European taught and educated, and actually become the Moors who have acquired and found themselves, as I believe the brother stated it best, the lost found tribe. With that being the case, if we don't take what we can read, we have to go further than just the slave issue. The slave issue is just that. Yes, we were slaves, and in some cases we still are. But, and there is a but, this is by choice. We have to look at what choices we are making to put ourselves in this particular condition.